Good morning on Sunday, the 1st of September. What does that put us into? Well, I suppose spring's coming up in 3 weeks, so yeah, might be starting to warm up down south. So beautiful morning here. Look at that terrible white beach. I mean, you know, why would you come here and see something like that? Listen to the currawongs singing in the background. They've stopped now, of course. They know I'm there. Oh no, there they go. On cue. Now you need to see what I'm looking at. And the sun is just starting to hit Whitsunday Crag. And we looked last night on the video, all the lights of the boats that were staying overnight at Whitehaven Beach, and now you can see them in the daytime with the sun just starting to hit them. There are so many. It is Sunday, so it's the weekend. Yeah, beautiful. Here's my neighbours. They all behave themselves. I did too, unfortunately, but anyway, there you go. And there's my mooring buoy. It has also behaved itself and didn't knock against the boat. Yeah, I think the tide swing here just keeps it away. Got my coffee. Yeah, no words. And we say goodbye to Chalkies Beach. Beautiful spot. There's also magnificent angelfish hanging around the mooring base as I let it go. Pentecost Island through there, looks stunning. And Whitsunday Crag. Yeah, it's all coming to life again. People have been on the move for about an hour now. So it's Border Island-esque island. Beyond that you see a little hump, it's Dumbbell Island, and beyond that is the top of Hook Island. So we're going to go through Solway Pass now. The tide is still in our favour, the wind's not so much, but that's okay. Once we get out there, we'll be able to point further west, and it should be a very nice sail today. Anyway, just enjoying. Just edging into Solway Pass. Not yet feeling the tidal effect. The depth now stands at 46 meters, which is about half as much as it actually gets to. I may not actually go over the deepest part because that's probably off to my right here. But yeah, all I'm hoping for is a free ride. Once it spits us out at the other side, we'll get the sails up and we'll start going around to the right, towards the west. Pentecost in the background there still. I think that's Lindeman behind it, Lindeman Island, if I'm not mistaken. And I could well be. I don't know. Perish the thought. Whitsunday? Yeah, Whitsunday Crag, sorry. And Whitehaven Beach. The names are all quite similar. There's a lot about the whole white thing going on here. But yeah, if you look at the beach, you can see why. Some of the boats have already gone for the day, heading off to the next destination, bearing in mind Sunday morning. So, there'll be a lot of weekenders out here, who obviously try and maximize their time. So get up, move on to the next place. You know, there's so many places to go to. Further into the pass now, and we're starting to pick up a bit of speed. We're now looking at 70, 71, 72, 73 meters of depth. If you can read that. Yeah, it's still 3.5, but it is going into a slack tide period, but I just want to catch it before it goes against. Oopsie days. Okay. Okay, so speed slowly picking up. Chalkies Beach is on Hazelwood Island or Hasselwood Island. Every time I look at a map, they spell it differently, so I really don't know. But I'm going to go with Hazelwood. That's Teagle Island, which is just off the point. And you'll see there'll be a small pass through there shortly. And yeah, as we go further through, 76 meters of depth now. And closer to Whitehaven Beach. You can see the white gleaming in the morning sun. There comes the first of the cruise boats for the day. See the path now between Teagle and Hazelwood. Cruise boat entering the channel. And King Kong in the background. There they go, off to Whitehaven Beach to explore. And jump up and down and swim and all that groovy stuff. And that's goodbye to Whitehaven Beach for now. Beautiful part of the world. It's nice being able to come out on this side of the islands. You can't do that all the time because it can get quite rough out here because it's exposed to the ocean. I mean, other than the Great Barrier Reef further out, but it's still where the swells come in and everything, so it can get quite uncomfortable. Teagle, quite a bit down south there. Lindeman and not Thomas. Shaw. I think it's Lindeman and Shaw Islands back there, so you can't tell them apart. Whoa, just got caught in an eddy. Boat decided to go somewhere else. Anyway, off we go again. Yeah, some of these vistas, it looks like, yeah, it could be in British Columbia, actually, with all these pines coming right down to the water. Yeah, different look. The peak over there, I believe, is Cape Conway. Yeah, I don't know, it's just on the map, it's Cape Conway, so anyway, where are these guys off to? Cruise Whitsundays. And more cruisers coming in. Yeah, they're arriving. And now we're seeing Whitsunday Crag from another side. I think we're seeing it from three sides now. So nearly done. Oh, it's cruiser left a bit of a wake. Yeah, Pentecost, Lindeman, Shaw, and the one on the outside there is Mansell. And then pretty much the open water outside of that. Well, you keep going, you're going to hit coral reefs and stuff like that and some further islands. Oh my God, look at the swell this guy kicked up, would you? Holy moly. Hey, rock and roll. Yeah, we love cruisers, right? With feeling. We love to not. Flappy, flappy, flap. Anyway, we're nearly through. Okay, so I've come out and I can see Hamilton Island. You can now see the resort accommodation buildings, hotels maybe, I don't know, at Cat-Eye Beach on Hamilton Island, which is why I can now get internet. Anyway, oh look, there's Whitsunday Crag from, well, slightly different angle. But it's a little glassy out here at the moment, so I've still got the engine running while I decide how I attack this. There are ripples to the south, so hopefully that means a breeze is coming this way. Okay, so little breeze. I have put the engine in neutral. Now going to go through one of my favourite parts. Just a second. If I can find it. And oh yeah. Even genieten, as they say in Holland. Listen to the silence. That's not what that means, but anyway, it just means enjoy. Yeah, okay. Catch up with the world now. And what I said about cruisers, holy tamale. Alright, we're gonna get rattled big time. Okay, here it comes. To any cruiser drivers, and that's what we can call them, I think, this is what you do to boats when you go past them like that. Luckily this one didn't keep on braking like it looked like it was going to. But yeah, anyway, if you care, that's what it does. It's sitting out here for a little while now. south of Whitsunday Island. That's Fitzalan or Fitzalan or whatever you want to call it, passage or strait between Hamilton Island and Whitsunday. Cat-Eye Beach on Hamilton Island. Perseverance Island. Gungdung Island, yeah, something like that. And the mainland further down, Cape Conway. Here we've still got Pentecost, or King Kong and Repose, Lindeman, and probably the bottom end of, or the top end, sorry, I'm sure, and Mansell Island just sneaking around the corner there. Yeah, not a lot on the way of wind. Panning around quickly. In between all of that is Solway Passage, where I came out of. And up there, as I said, Whitsunday Crag. I remember saying in the video yesterday, day before, maybe both. Even though it sort of stands out proudly from the other side of the island, it's actually funny to think that it's actually sitting almost on the south coast, overlooking Hamilton Island and this particular area. But yes, smooth as, barely a breath. Nice coloured water still though, and sunny hot. Oh, don't say anything, don't tell anyone, but I'm feeling a bit of a breezy. A wee breezy. That'll make it easy. Yeah, we're leaving it behind very slowly, but yes, I can actually feel this one. And it's coming from the forecast direction, so that's always a good thing. And Hamilton Island, passing that slowly, but surely. Yeah, that breeze is holding now, so it's still light, but we're holding around about 3 knots. And we can actually hear water shushing under the boat. That's always a good thing. Hamilton Island, Fitzalan Passage. Just going to round this and then head more west in a moment. Yeah, it's such nice weather. Well, second guessing, where should I go? Should I change my mind? But I'll still keep on going, I think, to Long Island, Palm Cove, I think it is, on the other side of it, in the Narrows. So, yeah, just cruising along really nicely. Very lazy-like. Okay, so this is Dungurra Island. Perseverance Island is just starting to show itself behind that. And then we've got Hamilton Island. That's Passage Peak over there on Hamilton Island. Would be another great vantage point to get a view of this, beautiful island area. We're just cruising along at about 2 and a bit knots, so it's sort of slowing down a bit, but still good. Pentecost looking more and more like King Kong. And Lindeman in the background. Just coming across the bottom of Hamilton Island now. There's a little pile of rocks here. I don't know what they're called. No name on the map. Southern coast of Hamilton Island. And through that gap there is where the airport runway is. Looks like there's a bit of development going on over there too. So, yeah, it's probably the most built up of the islands. Certainly a sort of holiday destination with resorts, hotels, all that kind of thing. And we're just skirting the bottom here. Yeah, just passing this pile of rocks. You can actually see the tail of an aircraft there on the airfield. I think it's just parked there. I know Qantas is due to take off in around, what time is it? Yeah, about 7 minutes. But that assumes they're on time, right? So, yeah. Oops, sorry about that. Just going round, bottom of Hamilton Island. Just coming to the southern tip now of Hamilton Island, and that's Dent Island. There's a few names here quite similar, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the tide does here. It's this tiny little chop going on. It feels like you're in a washing machine. But we're going along at 3 knots, so I'm not complaining. Nobody's going to listen anyway. And just looking back. Yeah, some palm trees or something at the top there. They're probably cabbage trees or tea trees or whatever they're called. You can just listen to it as the water's just boiling away here. It's so confused. Chop going in every direction. Just listen to that. Well, unless I have to cut the sound out because of wind noise, but hopefully not. Yeah, just looking back at the point from which we've just gone round, bottom of Hamilton Island. Look at the colours. So nice. Yeah, there goes Qantas. So, Dent Island, looking down the channel here, and you can see some of the built-up part of Hamilton Island there. It's just beyond that little mole of an island. It's just off the shore there. And further down the channel is Whitsunday Island. Just come around Dent Island, and now we're out in the main channel, basically, looking north. Now, the island I'm going to is called Long Island, which is sort of one behind this island you can see in the foreground. That, I believe, is George. I'm heading for a place called Palm Cove, which I think is probably about 2/3 of the way up the other side. And it's Virgin, coming into Hamilton Island. Right out in the middle of the channel now. Distance, just see the silhouette of the Anchor Islands, which is down the southern end of the Whitsundays. Mainland, that's Cape Conway National Park. Going around mainland still. George Island. And it's basically lying parallel to Long Island, which is behind it. And that's the bottom of Long Island, actually, those lumpy bits. Lumpy bits. South Mole Island. And then the channel. In the distance, Hook Island, Whitsunday, and Dent Islands. Hamilton's now blocked by Dent and Pentecost. Now, for some or other reason, I've been calling this George Island. It's actually Pine Island, which I suppose is obvious now that we look at it close up. Maybe it's George Pine. I don't know. Anyway, correction, Pine Island. Enjoy. Okay, so motor sailing at the moment. This is the top of Pine Island, formerly known as George by me. That's Long Island over there. Basically the tide. You can actually see the turbulence back there from the tide. Yeah, it was pretty strong through there. Motor sailing, I was doing about 2.4 knots. I'm starting to get up to 2.8 now. So I'm losing the intensity of that head current. I assume you say head current, headwind, head current, right? Anyway, next island coming up. Hey, now we're just laying in to get around Long Island, the southern point. Looking back into the channel between. Sorry about the fingers. So that's the bottom end of Long Island, actually, those lumpy bits, as I said before. South Mole there. Pine. Now, you basically can see I'm crabbing my way across. Okay, so although I want to go around that point, I'm having to lay in many degrees of correction to allow for the tide, which is trying to wash me onto it, or actually wash me down this channel, if I let it have its evil way. Anyway, mainland behind, and the breeze has just come up a nice little bit now, so I was able to switch off the motor from motor sailing, so isn't it great? I actually got it all to myself too. Nice. Just creeping around the southern tip of Long Island now. Not quite as much turbulence here. Still a bit of resistance. I'm hoping that I'll get a bit of a ride once I get around this next point. Just under 3 knots we're going, so that's okay. Mainland over there, Cow and Calf Island in front. What do we got round here? Puritan Bay down there. Definitely won't be going there. Yeah, just a nice little cruise along. Looking back at Dent Pine, Long Island, and it looks like coconut trees might have got a foothold here. Let's see how that goes. And this piece of water here between Long Island and the mainland is, of course, called Long Island Sound. I kid you not. So here we are, coming into Long Island Sound. So deeper into Long Island Sound, we can see now. This basically goes down for a ways, then it narrows into something called the Narrows. So, yeah, I'm sort of thinking, because of the Narrows at the other end of this piece of water, the outgoing tide may actually also be flowing out this way as well, because the Narrows can't take it all. So maybe I'm not going to get some tidal assist like I thought, or not as much anyway. But it's just nice to see these places. Never been here before. Further into Long Island Sound. Starting to look a bit like British Columbia again. Paradise Bay here on Long Island. No real explanation of the book about it. There's definitely something there, and there's people walking on the rocks. There's a sign there that says Elysian. Where is it? Somewhere in there. Yeah, weird. Looks like a little resort. See some huts in the background there. Yeah, I suppose you've got to come here by boat. As we head on further down the Sound. Ah yes, seeing a lot more huts there now. Yeah, cute. Never heard of it. Coming further down the Sound, the hill's going down there, so I assume that maybe is where the Narrows is. And there's one thing about this Sound, there isn't any sound. Woodcutter Bay, that's on the mainland. Sorry, I don't want to disturb the silence really, it's just the shushing of water and the odd bird. And the Narrows are widening. I think that may be Daydream Island in the distance. Yeah, it's sort of weird, so the vantage points you have. Okay, let's follow the direct line of sight and see where that island happens to be. Yes, I think that might be Daydream, and that coming up on the right now is probably one of the mole, probably North Mole, I'm going to guess. So yeah, we're just going along here at 3 knots. But the watercolour in here is pretty nice. Look at that. Don't know if that comes up very well on video. And the glinting on the water of this late afternoon sun, mid-afternoon sun. Woodcutter Bay again. And now we can see the Narrows defined by both borders, hills, whatever you want to call it. Be interesting to see what happens when we get there. What state of the tide is here. And whether it's a Guinness or with us. A Guinness. Anyway. Getting nearer to the Narrows, seeing more of what's on the other side. Yeah. We'll have to suck our breath in shortly. Yeah, Sandy Bay on Long Island. Just saw fish jumping out there. Beautiful colour water and sand. And getting close to the Narrows now. Well, we're getting close to the Narrows for a while now, but we're narrowing it down. Here we go. So that is Fire Point on the right and Spit Point on the left. So yeah, kind of, am I going to get fired on? Am I going to get spat on? Or is this where they make Spitfires? Really, the opportunities here are endless. Okay, so Fire Point and Spit Point. I'm in the Narrows. Now, my target was just up here in Palm Bay. Now, the literature says there are 2 moorings outside. So there's 2 catamarans on those. And there's 2 inside the lagoon. The lagoon's meant only for monohulls, not catamarans. The second catamaran literally just pulled up now. So I'll have a little look. It is minutes from low tide. So if it is deep enough, then it will be deep enough because, yeah, get there on low tide. It's not going to get any lower, right? Okay, so we're just coming out of the Narrows, and yeah, I still can't make head or tail of what's going on down here in Palm Bay. But as we get closer, it'll become more obvious, hopefully. Okay, the mainland's now receding away as well, and the wind's just disappeared. In the distance, the sort of blue hazy hill there, that's actually Chute Harbour. So, yeah, not far away, and hopefully that'll give us some internet coverage maybe. Okay, so this is a closer look at Palm Bay, so we can see the 2 catamarans on the public moorings there. I sort of figured out that the 2 moorings that they talk about that are closer inside the lagoon would be more for your basic runabout or small cruiser. Anyway, yes, there is a resort there of sorts. I'm just starting to resolve now through the palm trees. Of course, you've got to have palm trees at a resort, right? Or it ain't a resort. It's just as simple as that. They're all wearing their Sunday whites by the looks of it. Have I arrived in Samoa? Anyway. So, the resort basically, it's BYO food and drink. So, I guess you just hire out the cabins or whatever they have there and then, yeah, bring in your own supplies. Cool. So my next option should be around the corner here, basically. Happy Bay. Happy days if it's Happy Bay. So we'll go around and have a look at that now. Otherwise, I'm really not sure where I'll sleep tonight, but we'll find somewhere. We always do. Okay, looking back at Palm Bay, and then round to Happy Bay. Happy to say there's only 3 boats there, so I should be able to find somewhere to anchor fairly easily. Yeah, the thing to watch here basically is the tide. Rips through here, obviously, because of the Narrows. But this is sort of a little bit off to the side, so yeah, all good. Not sure what this structure here is, or was, or yeah, be pleased to know they've got a security gate there or something, so nobody walks off the end. Anyway, let's see what we can find. Yep, strange structure. Maybe they used to farm and stuff, and that's how they loaded stock onto the coastal ships that used to come along and pick them up. And looks like there was a resort in there. So they're everywhere on this place. Yeah, that's 3, isn't it, that I've counted? There you go. I wonder if that's the last one. Anyway, Happy Bay. Well, here I am, anchored in Happy Bay. Yeah, as I came in, 2 other boats came in, so yeah, it's a popular place for people who rent boats and need to, want to get away on their first day after the briefing. So this is nice and close to Airlie or Chute Harbour, and that's usually what you'll find here. That's Chute Harbour back that way. There's a tower on top of that hill. I think it's actually giving me at least 4G now, so happy days. But yeah, Not a bad little anchorage, actually, especially in this calm weather. It's just brilliant. So, yes, relax now. Thank you for watching another Fast Forward to Queensland video. As always, don't forget to like, comment on YouTube and subscribe to Dawn Radar.